All right, guys, welcome to this video. This is Ray. I'm the founder of Grata Software, owner of the Digital Strike program. I've been reading this specific book that has been giving me a lot of knowledge and information about marketing. But I just wanted to show you here. So I have on my screen here Perplexity, and I just wanted to show you a way that you can go get your target avatar. In order to be able to do any type of marketing to market your business, you need to be able to find out who your customer is. You need to be able to target that customer and be able to speak their language and know everything about them. The reason why is because when you have all this information, you can target them with your Facebook ads, Google ads, things like that. You can also learn on how to talk to them on social media because you got to use the same terminology that they want. Your customers have a terminology, a language that they speak, and you need to be able to speak their language. So there's a book that I've been reading, and it's called the No B.S. Guide to Successful Marketing Automation. Dan Kennedy is one of the best when it comes to the marketing business. He has been responsible for most of the infomercials that happened in the 90s and the 2000s where people made millions and millions of dollars selling products through late night television. He also is a major copywriter, has created such phenomenal copy for all these type of advertising agencies, his own agency, which was Magnetic Marketing, which he sold to a different company. And so anyways, but he wrote this book called No B.S. Guide to Successful Marketing Automation. Now, I can go through the whole book or what this book does, but basically, there's a lot of stuff in here that talks about how to automate your marketing processes. But the reason why I'm doing this video is I want to show you this specific thing that the book shows. So I pulled that off the screen and I'm on Perplexity. So Perplexity right here, perplexity.com. Now, this is an AI engine that allows you to do research, very deep research on topics. And so the reason why I have Perplexity up and running, there is a specific chapter that is about how to use artificial intelligence in order to grab your avatar. And I'm going to plop it in here. Hopefully it will not reformat it. Cool. So it did not reformat it in a different way. So if you look at this, so this is the script for customer avatar deep dive. Now, again, this is provided in the book. I just extrapolated the most important parts and I put it in here. And so if you see here, it says, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that. It says, give me 5 customer avatars for offer. Now, here's where you put your actual offer. What are you offering? Teaching target, specific customer target you're going after, whose company, and then you can describe the company, who they are, how to insert whatever the outcome or how to get the outcome for them. Create one avatar for each stage of awareness. So for instance, the perfect example is, so my company, we offer our customers a free consultation teaching small businesses, that's our target market, small businesses with workflow-based operations. And what that means is it could be manufacturing. It could be anything that requires a specific workflow. Not all businesses have a manufacturing workflow or a financial workflow or anything like that. So whose company provides products and manufacturing, logistics, and production. I'm just going to say production. How to increase capacity, customers, and revenue through AI-powered automation. All right, so that's what you do. That's how you enter in this information. So you got to think about from your business, what are you going to enter? What would you enter in here? And so it says the target market is, right? And so this is the thing about AI. So I filled in the information here, right? I filled the information at the top, right? Now, these brackets is telling AI that I want you to fill this part out, right? The target market is blank. The offer website is whatever, right? It's price, positioning, and then type of offer, and so on and so forth. Now, you can fill all this stuff out if you have this information, but sometimes I don't fill this out because I like the AI to come up with the stuff, right? Because it may actually say the offer's website is, and it might give me what it thinks the name of the website should be, right? Its price positioning should be this, type of offer, it's niche. It might give me all this information. So that's what the brackets is. Brackets is like a placeholder in AI where you can either fill in the information or you can let AI fill in the information for you. So I'm not going to fill in any of that stuff because I've already explained what the customer avatar is up here that I'm looking for, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the deep research. So I'll click right here. So now it's thinking. It's actually going through the process of thinking. It's going to think first, and then it's going to try to figure out how it's going to position all the stuff it's going to do for you. And then it's going to go out and start looking for the information to fill in the blanks. And so that's what it's going to do. So as you see that little thing is spinning saying research. So all we have to do now is just wait for the result to run. It's going to run for a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause the video here and wait till it's done. And then we'll come back and then I'll explain what the answers are. All right. So that took a little bit longer than I expected, but we're here. We finally got results. So let me show you what's here on the screen. So first of all, the system has completed a report. It's actually still working on it towards the bottom, but as we scroll through, we'll get to the bottom. So you'll see where it says, so we're looking at the 5 customer avatars that I asked for, and I asked for specific awareness levels for these customers. That's what was the request of the prompt that I provided. So first of all, it's going to be problem aware here. So you see the avatar for my problem aware customer. So this is called the struggling manufacturer, right? So this is telling you this is a specific type of customer. The avatar details is they're problem aware. So they're aware that there's a problem with what they're doing, right? The name is Michael Thompson. Gender's male. The job is a CEO and owner of Thompson Manufacturing Solutions, which is a custom metal component company. Again, it's all of this is based on data it gathered. So it's not like it's just coming up with BS stuff. It's all information it gathered. Annual salary is $112,500. And then now we go down to the personal profile about the person, right? Again, important stuff. This is what's their interests and how you can target them. So top 5 movies is The Founder, Social Network, Tucker, The Aviator, Joy. Top 5 favorite books is Good to Great, 4 Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I did this based on my business. And I can honestly tell you that these customers, a lot of them are going to be me. Like literally almost everything is saying like 5 favorite books, the websites, all that stuff is essentially what I do on a daily basis. I've read all those books, right? Websites, visit, supply chain resources. I'm not in supply chain, so I probably wouldn't go to a supply chain website. Business news sites, I do that. Local chamber of commerce websites, LinkedIn, obviously that's where I'm at. Relevant social media influencers. So manufacturer through leaders in LinkedIn, industry specific YouTube channels, manufacturer podcast hosts. And by the way, you can go even deeper. I can take that industry specific YouTube channels and I can make the next request. And the next request, I can say, give me all of the industry specific YouTube channels that are based on this avatar. And what it'll do is it'll give me a list of those YouTube channels. And those would be good if, let's say, you are going to do ads on YouTube. You can make sure you target the right YouTube videos that your customer avatar would watch. Psychographic, pragmatic and results oriented, detail focused, cautious about technology adoption. That's everybody. Independent decision making, traditional and business approach. 5 values, quality of craftsmanship, operational reliability, customer satisfaction, and well-being. So if you were writing copy, you'd want to focus on some of these things. You want to focus on how the AI is going to create more operational reliability, right? You want to use the words. So 5 interests, so manufacturer process optimization, industry networking events, so on and so forth. Now, this is the part that I like the most because this actually digs into their actual psyche, right? So pain profile, being made irrelevant by large competitors and more advanced technology. Biggest complaint from existing solutions, manual processes are being increasingly inefficient and error prone. 5 primary pain points, reaching production capacity limits with current resources. Increasing labor costs, cutting into profit margins, inconsistent quality control, all that stuff. Now, by the way, and I'll tell you right now in full disclosure, I have clients that was the terminology that got me the client. I said the increasing labor costs are cutting into your profits. You're not able to handle as much capacity because there's too much manual labor going on and too much physical interactions with human beings going on that you're not able to take on more clients. And that's how I was able to close some clients on AI solutions. Again, just giving you the full gamut so that you understand what you can do with something like this. Desire profile, secret desire to be viewed as an innovator and leader in the manufacturing niche. There's 3 main areas that drive people to make purchases, and that is health, wealth, and relationships. In this case, this specific line here is specifically dealing with relationships. They want to be viewed as an innovator, right? That is a point. That is a domino, a tipping point that makes a person say, I want to go ahead and purchase a solution because it's going to make me look like an innovator. In fact, I have a client right now who wants to be an innovator in his field, and that's all he talks about. Every time we work on something with him, it's because he's being an innovator, and that's his driving force to continue investing in what we do. Top primary desires, increase production capacity. This basically, a lot of this stuff is repetitive. It's just a different way of saying it. But the key here is emotions and feelings. Overwhelmed operational complexity, frustrated by inefficiencies, anxious about falling behind. Top 5 beliefs. So these are actual statements. These are statements that you can use in your marketing campaign. So technology should serve practical business needs, not to be adopted for its own sake. So there's a guy by the name of Russell Brunson who talks about when you're marketing, you want to be able to knock down the big domino, which is what is the thing that you need the customer to believe in order for them to say yes to your solution. And so this is telling you what those dominoes you're going to have to drop, right? So technology should serve as a practical business need, not to be adopted for its own sake. That's true. We're not telling you to use AI as a replacement, right? We're telling you to use AI as an assistant, right? There's a purpose. It's not just to be done just because it exists, right? My experience in the industry gives me valuable insights computers can't replace. Absolutely. That's something I would tell a customer that yes, your expertise is still valuable. This is just a solution that's helping you. Small businesses need affordable solutions, not enterprise level systems. That's true. Some of these AI solutions that we have, sometimes we're wrapping an already built model with code, right? Or with a solution. That way it makes it more cost effective, lower costs, so on and so forth. Quality and customer services are what set us apart. You have to speak to these things. And that's the reason why we're pulling this information. And then we go shopping behavior, proof that a solution can deliver tangible, efficient improvements. This customer, you're going to have to do a proof of concept and prove to them that it is going to be efficient and is going to help their business. Average order value, 5,000 to 15,000 for business improvement solutions. That is actually very impressive to know because by knowing that, you know what solution you can go into. I can't tell someone that has $15,000 that I can build them a fully customized, proprietary, intellectual property level AI solution because that is just not true. It costs at least $40,000 to build a customized proprietary learning model using the hardware and software, especially if you want to have the intellectual property that you own it. And you can't do that for $15,000. So this information is valuable, right? Wants to gain more production capacity. We already know that. Wants to be recognized, right? So the wants are amazing. Again, these are all just words that they need to hear, right? And that's what you're doing. So again, so I went through that one first, the struggling manufacturer. Let's look at the next avatar. And I'm not going to dig through as details I did with the first one. I just wanted you to see what the different results are, right? So this is a person that's unaware. They have no clue that they have a problem, right? So this is the fully unaware. And so this one is the traditional craftsman. And obviously this is super important because the total unaware person is someone who's more of like old school. They just like doing things the old way. They're very pragmatic. They don't really like tech and all that kind of stuff because they just do things the old way. And you'll see it says like websites as local business associations, manufacturing equipment, right? A part here, the psychographic is like they're traditionalists. That's what I'm looking for. So they're traditionalists in their approach to business, right? So they're going to be a little bit harder to sell, right? So their pain points is losing business. That's literally the way you talk to them is like, look, you're literally behind and people are taking your customers. You're eventually going to lose your business. Will that get them to move the needle? We don't know, but that's just something that you're given. These are avatars that you can use when you're going to do your ad campaigns, right? So this one's $2,000 to $10,000 in equipment investing that they normally do. So you get anything that's $50,000, $60,000, you're really going to have to sell them. You're going to have some pushback. Progressive manufacturer. This is someone who's solutions aware. So they know they have a problem and they know that there's solutions that are out there. And so basically this is the type of person that is very ready to buy, right? And so Jennifer Williams, female, and annual salary, 105,000, basically almost the same type of movies, the same type of books, same type of websites, very similar, right? Their mentality is a little bit different. Their mindset is different. So their biggest fear is making a significant investment in the wrong solution. And that is a huge deal. That is actually something that's very consistent in technology in general, right? 5 primary pain points: information silos between departments, difficulty scaling operations, manual data. So this person, their actual primary decision triggers is evidence of successful implementation in similar businesses. So this is a person that you would have to use a lot of social proof, a lot of people, a lot of testimonials and things like that. Clear ROI calculation. Now you'll see here that the average order here is 10 to 30,000. So this person is adept to spend more money, but they do require a little bit more work. You have to show a little bit more proof. And that's pretty consistent across the board when you're working with customers. Tech evaluating manufacturer. So this is product aware. This is someone who's definitely more involved and knows what's going on there in the industry. This person tends to be easier to work with when it comes to because they understand what you do. But now the thing is, you have to really prove to them that you can do this, right? So a lot of this stuff is going to see comparing different AI automation platforms. I talk to these types of people all the time. Like they never make a decision. They're constantly analyzing. And so these people, they take a lot of more hand holding. So their shopping behavior is like demonstration of specific customized solution. That is absolutely correct. Clear implementation timeline and resource requirements. I'm working with someone right now, very similar. They want the full shebang. They want to know how much time is it going to take? How much money is it going to take? They want it all up front. They want to know what they're dealing with, and so for this type of customer, there's a lot more legwork we have to do and a lot more, we have to basically lay out the foundation of what they're going to spend. Average order value, they'll spend $20,000 to $50,000 for business technology because they trust in it. They believe in it. And they're the ones that spend ERP systems and inventory management software. So this is the type of person that they're really a buyer. You have to really work them. You have to, yeah, it says preferred channels, detailed demos, free trials, expert consultation. This is probably 80% of my customer base is this type of customer. So there's that. And then the most aware, and this is someone who's very aware of what's going on. They're ready to implement manufacture. So I hope this helps you understand that you can use, again, the prompt is up here somewhere. And if you type in prompt in the comment section, I will send you the actual prompt that I use in order to do this. And that'll hopefully help you get one step closer to what you're trying to get to. But I hope this video will help you understand how you can pull in this information that you need to determine who your customer avatars are so that you're not wasting time spending money on things like Google ads, Facebook ads, or even your outbound cold email, that you're going after the right person with the right reasons. And on top of that, you have the right information that speaks their language, because that is the most important part in the sales process. So I hope this video helps you out. And if you have any questions, just put them in the comments and I will more than glad help you out. All right.